Welcome to our weekend preview of games here live on Prrrr. My name is Leonard Abekando, and this weekend lots of games from EPL, La Liga, Serie A, French League One, all the European top 5 leagues. And my guys are seated here. Charlie, guys, welcome.
Yeah, heat on heat, bro.
Prrrr, yeah, we are here.
EPL, we are back.
What SLG host now, bro?
Yeah, if you want to take that, come and sit there. If you want to take that, be very careful.
But he asked
I said be very careful.
He asked that and I responded. So what shows that my response means I want to be a host?
Anyway, let's start off with the Premier League. On Saturday, Manchester City takes on Leeds at the Etihad. Would it be hard for them?
You think you drop bad?
I don't drop anything.
When Manchester City face this at the Etihad,
Charlie,
will it be hard for them?
Because then they've lost in the last two.
Yeah,
right?
I think Leeds have even lost in their last.
Yeah.
City have also lost in their last two. City needs to bounce back. I'm worried about the title race, and I see us now running away with it. But I won't be too worried because back in the first month in the Premier League, it looked like after the first international break, it looked like Liverpool were running away with the Premier League title. Right now, look at where they are. So I'm not going to say the same about Arsenal because Arsenal's a well-drilled side. They look like one of the best, probably the best team in the world right now. But for Man City, they need to bounce back.
Right.
Pep said against the midweek game that probably he did too many rotations. I don't want to hear that. Made about 10 changes. I don't want to hear those things. Anyway, he lost the game. He's lost back-to-back games. But City are on a winless. I have won 5 straight games at home at the Etihad. Their last 5 games at home. So they want to continue that streak, and so I'm thinking that he would do a few tweaks here and there, and I'm expecting that against Leeds United at home they should be able to get all 3 points at home. So
yeah, Man City against Leeds. City are unbeaten against promoted teams in 25 consecutive league matches against newly promoted sides. So
an easy peasy.
I'll go back to the title race that you spoke about.
Yeah. Right.
City needs to give us something because now we know Liverpool are falling off a cliff where we are in a full-blown crisis. In my opinion.
Have you?
Yes, I keep going back to that. So, but it kind of looks like I sat here last week. I was raving about Pep Guardiola. He's trying to do something different. I explained some of the things that he's trying to do with having less possession and all that. But it seems they're a bit reliant on Erling Haaland scoring goals. At a point in the season, their highest top scorer aside Erling Haaland was own goals. So they are heavily reliant on Erling Haaland scoring goals. And when they made 10 changes in the Champions League, losing to Leverkusen, they will be looking to bounce back. Erling Haaland, this could be a good moment, a nice moment for the Erling Haaland family. Erling Haaland was born in Leeds. And this is a game that scoring against Leeds United will be his 100th Premier League goal. So it will be a befitting game for Erling Haaland to get his 100th Premier League goal against Leeds United.
Right. Zlatan. Thomas Frank's inconsistency.
Charlie.
I wanted to touch on the City Leeds. Okay, shoot.
That's why I say, if your man the one
then come and collect it.
Come and sit here, bro. Why
you guys won't cook me today like that?
Go on.
Thomas Frank's inconsistency.
Okay.
This weekend, after losing to the Champions League, against PSG, he's coming back to face Fulham, but then he'll play at home.
Yeah.
Charlie, how did they see that game?
Spurs at home against Fulham.
Spurs at home against Fulham will be a
and Marco Silva hasn't found it either.
Yeah, with Marco Silva, the team struggles a bit this season. If you look at their forward line, sometimes Rodrigo Muniz needs to come off the bench to get them that goal. And then if you look at Thomas Frank, we talk about the over-reliance on Mohamed Kudus. But the key thing is that Mohamed Kudus in some 2, 3, 4 games, he's not there, but the team finds a way to find the back of the net. Yeah, so the key thing now is the back line. I don't know, Christian Romero and then Mickey van der Van, one top-notch centre-backs at the moment in world football. But it all goes back to they are playing for Spurs, and it's a Spursy thing for the team to just sleep in games where you expect them to, come in and then do something great like their name. But unfortunately, as they are not going to live up to the billing against their opponent Fulham, I'm expecting a tough game for Tottenham Hotspur because now the saturation in the team is that there are new players. There's Xavi Simon. You have to, prove a point against a Fulham side that they are also, a little struggling here and there. So I'm expecting, a stalemate between both clubs. If you look at the head-to-head, fair share wins for Spurs, but Fulham finds a way to, get goals in there. And if they are going to get goals, it's not going to be one against a defensive side that concedes 5 against PSG. So I think, shot from afar, then goalkeeper will just be taking them in. Meanwhile, one of the best in the league so far. So I think for Tottenham Hotspur, they are going to face challenges against Fulham over the weekend.
I mean, but Marco Silva has also not
but I
found
still
it
expect
tough.
Spurs to win.
Spurs to win, for them to bounce back. But Barcelona also have a match.
Are you walking away
They are
from the
free.
Premier League?
Yeah, we are
Or
working.
We want
so
to mix them up. Saturday games. Okay.
Saturday games. We are doing Saturday games. We move to Sunday games.
Okay.
Yeah. So Barcelona in the La Liga, they are also facing Alaves. Before they go on to go and face
Alaves don't know what is
Atletico.
coming for them. You can boof like Sana. No matter over chilling next. No.
But I mean,
the buffon now.
well, some of your boys they've returned Rafinha. We saw him in the over the.
Pedri might be named in the squad. We're still waiting.
Yeah.
But maybe the Atletico game is where he will play proper. I think that the boys know how poor they were against Chelsea. How poor they were against Chelsea. Some players, Kunde especially. I really, at the beginning of the season in the Joan Gamper game, where Rafinha, at the end of the game, Rafinha and Yamal were standing together. They were looking at Kunde, and they were just looking at him, and they were laughing at him. And Eric Garcia had taken his place at that time.
Right.
Because towards the end of the season, Kunde got injured. Eric Garcia came in. At the beginning of the season, Eric Garcia was Barca starting right back until Flick felt like about the second or third game, the game against Rayo, then he started fielding Kunde at right back.
Right.
So Yamal and Rafinha stood there. They were watching Kunde like this, and they were just laughing at him. And you can tell that the boys know that there's something wrong with him. Because Kunde, it's like not Gini Park. There was a point in against Chelsea. Kunde took the ball, beat one player, 2 players, and he didn't know where the ball was, and they just took the ball from him. He's not even aware of his surroundings. Like his head is not in the game.
Yeah.
And so a lot of I think that Fleck will want to do a few changes here and there. You look at those coming off the bench. Rashford is back.
Yeah.
Rafinha is back. So Ferran Torres, I'm sure he goes to the bench. We've always said that in that Barca front 3 or front 4, one of the players that pressed the most is Ferran. But considering his performance in midweek against Chelsea, I expect that when players are poor like that, they should go and sit down. Yeah. And I saw you talk about Araujo in the fact that when he was coming off with that red card, Flick is giving him a high five. Come on.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I understand. It's your manager trying to speak out that I have on the field, I have the support, or I give the support to the captain. And that makes sense. But also, sometimes when the player is reckless and gives it all away, gives your team away, sometimes you also have to pass a message to the player that what you did as captain, as a leader, was not good enough.
So you are not taking Flick's way of managing his own player.
No.
Or you are suggesting another way.
And I'm saying that Flick is one of the most brilliant coaches with man managers, very close to the
But
players.
you didn't see it on the pitch. Probably the guy will get rebuked in the dressing room.
That is true. And I'm equally saying
you wanted to see it on the
is-
screens.
No, I'm
saying what
saying
is
that
on the
sometimes coaches pass statements.
Yeah.
Flick didn't do that.
Exactly. And I'm saying that most of these players need to be held accountable more. Araujo's brother, the game against PSG, when they didn't play Araujo, Araujo's brother took to Instagram. Everybody was there.
Yeah.
Asking Barca fans that, who are you going to blame now? I'm asking Araujo's brother, who is he going to blame now for that game against you?
A little bit on the Barcelona game. Barcelona, they've lost 2 La Liga games, and all those games were on the back of a Champions League game.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Barca need.
It'll be tough for them. No, but I think they know that they are in the title.
Yeah, with just a point
behind Madrid. They're not
this
afford
game
to slip.
is
So let me
so crazy.
give you a few pointers on the Barcelona game as well. Alaves said they have a poorest record in the league. This is a game of yellow cards. They've considered a high 30 yellow cards this season, Alaves. That is the highest. This is a game for Lewandowski. This is the side that has the most goals against, 7 goals in 8 games.
Yeah.
So this game is, I think, is more about goals.
I think he scored a hat-trick away from home to Alaves.
Charlie, when I
last
start,
season.
man, if you listen to him, you go
Yeah, he
fit
scored a
chop
hat-trick away from
Charlie.
home. I think Barca should beat Alaves. Flick always wants to respond after a big defeat or something.
So if you're a betting man, this is a game of yellow cards.
Yeah, Barca
high
will
game
come
of
out.
yellow
Or you
cards.
think otherwise?
No, I mean that's the biggest possibility, and also backing a Barca win and then over 2.5 because the 15-point team with against the 31. If you look at Alaves, there's one player there in his last 4 games against Barca averaging at least assist or a goal. That's Lucas Boy. Considering that guy too, and also Barcelona. I don't know. The goalkeeper is good, but the defensive shape might make the goalkeeper concede. That's the issue here. Aside that, I don't have an issue with Joan Garcia in La Liga, and also with Lewandowski. I'm expecting him to do something. Rafinha should start the game at least if he's fully fit. But the big question is, if there's nothing in the contract of Christian Eriksen, please let him start and play this game.
Christensen.
Andres Christensen. But if there's something in there, tell the fans so that we will limit our expectations.
Yeah, because Araujo.
But I saw you. I don't know what that was. I saw you tweet a front 4 that he can. Do you think he should try it in the game?
Yeah, I think. I think that look. One of the limitations, one of the things Flick always does with his wingers, if you watch the way he used Gnabry and in the 2020 Bayern, Perisic, Gnabry, Coutinho, all of those boys, he loves a touchline winger. The way he plays, he likes to stretch the pitch. His number 10 behind his number 9, and he likes that. Flick is very direct. Now, Lamine on the right wing, when he comes up against the Nuno Mendes, the Cucurella, and then Nuno knows that if Lamine comes on the inside, my teammates will help me, like Cucurella said in the post-match. So all I have to do is limit him from going on his right foot. And if he goes on his right foot, the danger on his right foot is not as much as the danger on his left foot. Now, if he comes inside, my teammates or Caicedo, whoever, will come and close for me. That is where Flick needs to think about the fact that maybe because if you look at the creation of Yamal, apart from the fact that on the right, he will beat a man and cross, or he will give a trivela.
Yeah.
Most of the times he flourishes more when he's come inside a bit, just inside a bit.
Yeah.
If you look at the goal against Inter, if you look at last weekend, the chances he created for Ferran, when he comes inside, he dribbles 2-3.
Yeah,
so
that
if he
right half space.
Yes, right half space. If you look at one of your best creators, Lamine Yamal, and you think that, we are all seeing it, that when he comes centrally a bit, I'm not saying he's ready to play as a 10 or a false 9 right now, but when he inverts a bit, he creates more. Why don't you also think of a way? And that's why you ask your right back, what does he do for Lamine? And you also think of a way
when he drifts centrally as well, you can see he causes a lot of chaos.
A lot of chaos, because in the half spaces, he'll beat you.
Yeah.
So Flick also needs to think about how he can integrate Lamine a bit central. That is my problem with him. Like, adapt.
On the wing, the inexperience, they catch him.
They catch him too much.
We talked about Barcelona's predictability.
So if you go invest Lamine small sometimes, and if you have Rashford and Rafinha who can touch the wing, instead of Lamine, in some games, let me start trying Lamine a bit central, because with the injury he also has, that they are saying unless it takes maybe a big surgery, he has to play with it.
Is it the Korea or the Pobega?
Anyway, so he has to think about. Flick needs to think about inventing a few touches here. Otherwise, he will limit them.
Atletico is also playing.
Against Oviedo.
Yeah, Oviedo.
I think with Oviedo, they are yet to win a game in their last 5 games, and they'll be playing against the mattress makers, Atletico de Madrid at the Metropolitano. Big game, but I still see, Julian Alvarez to score is the possible thing to happen in that game. And the sad thing too for the away side will be Kwesi Sibo. As a Ghanaian, I'm concerned. We are going to the World Cup, and now if you are doing probable lineup, we talk Kwesi Sibo, but the other bench Oviedo.
Yeah, sometimes Cazorla's benches him. Santi Cazorla is 40 years.
Yeah, so I think there are some key things in there. But in this game, I see, Atletico de Madrid with a brilliant win over there. What I don't like about them is that they can turn in game and then you can't predict them. That's at ATM for you.
And Oviedo hasn't scored in their last 3 games.
Zero.
No goals.
Very flat-footed. The only time they scored against Barca was when Joan Garcia came out.
That ball.
They are not that good. I think Atleti should.
And then also in the Bundesliga, Bayern Munich returns to face St. Pauli. They'll be playing
St. Pauli Kafra.
Right
after Arsenal beating them. They are playing against St. Pauli. They will trash them and they will change their name from Saints to Sinners. So Bayern Munich against St. Pauli. I don't have to talk much, because if you look at Vincent Kompany from the training grounds, what we've seen from him, he's a manager who goes furious on his players when they don't, get a good game. So this will be a game to be the wake-up call. Get back to winning ways. So St. Pauli fans, we are sorry.
Kompany is a manager that requires a lot of accountability from his players. He doesn't, and he wants to bounce back. They've ended the winning streak, so I think domestically they want to keep the winning streak domestically.
Yeah.
So he knows that he needs to get out 3 points.
All right, another big one will be Leverkusen after winning against Manchester City. They will welcome Borussia Dortmund. A tough one also.
Dortmund are such a headache to analyze, because sometimes domestically they will just adding them to your slip sometimes I'm not talking for myself, I'm talking for my experienced betpreneurs.
Right.
Adding them to your slip is such a headache. But in Europe, sometimes they just get a job done, And Leverkusen, considering the fact that they went out there to beat they beat City, the confidence is going to be through the roof coming up against Dortmund. So it should be a really cagey clash. The difference is that a Leverkusen of a season or two before, where they had the Verds, the Frimpongs, you could probably see what they're trying to do with Alonso and all of that. But here, there's been a bit of consistency. Brought in a new manager, Ten Hag went at the beginning of the season here and there. I think they're trying to find their feet. But against Dortmund, it should be tough, considering the fact that Dortmund in midweek. A powerhouse in midweek.
So they have two a bit inconsistent side. Bayer Leverkusen are a bit more consistent this time around on current form than Borussia Dortmund. I'm kind of seeing a draw in this game with both teams scoring. In the first half, Bayer Leverkusen, they usually score in the first half of most of their games. So I'm seeing both teams to score in this one. Maybe I'll go a 2-2.
Yeah, so the betpreneurs will say this might be halftime, full-time. Halftime win Leverkusen, and then the full-time win for so this is the key. So this is the reason why. This is the perfect analysis for this game. We are talking about a Leverkusen side that scores most of their goals in the first half. And then in the last 7 games of Borussia Dortmund, both teams will definitely have a goal. So if they are scoring in the first half, we are expecting Dortmund to concede. Karim Adeyemi's flair and what he adds to the attack, we are expecting him to be more boisterous in the second half, not in the first half, because the first half might tilt to the opponent's game. So to me, if you talk about halftime, full-time, this will be a perfect game for that. If you look at the goals scored and also the goals conceded per goal ratio, you understand that Borussia Dortmund are playing fantastic football, but sometimes you can't predict how they will be going into the game. So both teams to score in their last 7 games to, their home games have ended, I think, in the under 2.5 games. So I don't see whether it will be the goal or the halftime, full-time.
They actually have a good away record as well. They've lost just one of their last 12 away games.
They are playing home against Leverkusen today.
They are playing Dortmund are playing away. Yeah, they are playing away.
Dortmund are playing away, rather.
They have a very good away
record. They are going to the Bay Arena.
Yeah, the Bay Arena.
Let's head straight to France because there is a big one. I mean, I love the fact that Pogba is back. And I would love to see him in this particular game. AS Monaco, PSG.
Paul Abili Pogba.
Yeah, I think Pogba's gone, but Pogba never left. If you watch the glimpses of what he did when he came off the bench, the touches, the switch in the passes,
but he didn't feature for them.
Midway, and it was so frustrating. But I don't know, maybe I don't. But I think that the manager might give him some minutes.
Probably because of this game.
Maybe, but I think maybe he comes on in the second half. A good 30 minutes in the bank against PSG. I still think PSG would. João Neves is someone people don't talk about enough.
Oh my God, this is.
But you see the flick for the Fabian Ruiz goal. That guy is so. He's the heart of that midfield. Fabian will control a lot. Vitinha will give all of those passes, but João Neves is the heart. He does a lot of the running for them.
I don't want to cut you, but you see that midfield most of the time, the 3 midfield we talk about. I want to take probably maybe Chelsea as an example, Caicedo especially, where you see a 6 that sits in for them. But with PSG, you tend to see that Ruiz, Neves, Vitinha, these are not. They don't really have physical systems that is more
simply Enrique.
If you follow the story of Luis Enrique, you understand that he loves midfielders who have that tactical flexibility. Like you won't see one sitting deep every time for the other to always be there. So when they are playing their game, most of their goals being scored in big games are scored by Fabian Ruiz. Why? Because whenever Ousmane Dembele will drift wide and press, the person who falls in to play as the false 9 is who? That midfielder, Fabian Ruiz. That's why he scored against Arsenal. 2 goals against Real Madrid. So he's that guy. Vitinha 2 goals interchangeably with who? João Neves sometimes even drift wide to play as a right back whenever there's no Hakimi. So that's the tactical flexibility of Luis Enrique. But in a game against a team that have scored 25 goals and conceded 25, AS Monaco. Definitely PSG.
They're on very poor form. They've lost 25. Their last 2 home games. And I want to touch on the João Neves issue. Last season, he was the one that won the most possession in the when you look at him and his frame, his small stature, you wouldn't. He's a bit deceitful in the way he plays,
but
he's a very combative midfielder,
a diamond player. He's like He reminds me a lot. Maybe technically on the ball.
Are you talking about Marco?
Yeah, I'm coming to Marco.
Yes.
Verratti. And anytime I watch
My boy, Marco.
anytime I watch PSG play and I see Verratti in the stands, it's so sad that he didn't win.
Win
with
some.
this
You know,
type of
you know,
players.
Yeah.
Verratti.
One of the best.
I love that you talked about Verratti.
Like people stretch the Xavi Iniesta conversation, and even me. But when I heard Messi himself, when the reporter asked Messi that there's been a conversation
One
of
of these
comparison
players.
of Xavi Iniesta, is Verratti in the conversation? And Messi said, without doubt.
Yeah.
If somebody even at Barcelona, we were after Xavi
They wanted him.
him. And so when I hear those things, and
Marco.
when I see João Neves,
And you know, we
he
compare
reminds me-
we compare
the way he's
midfielders.
small and the way he
We talk about Caicedo,
He's so good.
the way Caicedo plays the defensive role, and then we have some technical midfielders like
what I'm saying is
Pedri.
that the comparison.
Verratti is a player that combines both sets of playing style
The
perfectly.
flair, the
A
pass.
balance of
So-
off the ball and on the ball.
So he really added the passing ability, even dictating game as a DM. Something similar to
The
Sergio
first time I
Busquets,
saw Verratti
but he
was at the
more
under 20.
combative.
Yeah.
and under 20 tournament, they played against
But
Ghana,
Verratti
Italy versus
has
Ghana.
Now he plays. Now he plays in
But
Qatar.
let
But
me,
yeah,
let me
in
touch
Qatar.
just a point on the Monaco PSG game.
Right.
So Monaco are playing at home. They've been poor. We are looking for a reaction. And Balogun, the former Arsenal striker,
Florent
scored
Balogun,
in their last game. So I'll be looking forward to a game of intensity from Monaco. They should,
Right.
you know, in the French Liga, they aren't giving PSG. They should be putting more effort.
They
in
are
some-
around 10th in the league.
They should
So
be
if you want a
putting more
team that
effort
will
in this
compete
game.
and put effort in, that might be Roberto De Zerbi's Olympic de Marseille.
Yeah, Marseille.
They've scored
Marseille is a
25
team that
and
wants
they've
to
conceded
play PSG very
25.
close.
Yeah,
You can't
yeah,
catch PSG
Yeah.
with this record.
But yeah, in the Italian Serie A too, Juventus after finding the
They're
side
struggling
in the
already.
Champions League, they will face Cagliari, and then
They'll be playing
AC
Cagliari over
Milan-
the weekend.
Yeah, AC Milan will also face Lazio, also a tough one there. But let's move on to the Sunday
Games.
fixtures. Crystal Palace, Manchester.
Why are you
City.
laughing? Crystal
But
Palace.
what's this-
Manchester City. No, you said City leads. City leads. Relax. Check it.
No. I'm saying Manchester United.
Oh,
sorry.
The red part
Crystal
of
Palace.
Manchester.
are
rather.
not yourself.
No.
They are talking about the red part of Manchester.
The owner is
Crystal Palace is
Glasner.
playing at home.
yeah, Crystal Palace.
Against
Palace. Wow.
Ruben Amorim.
The three back battle.
The 3-back battle.
You see, tactically, this is a game that it will go beyond the tactics.
Oh, Pedro Sheldon is watching with a lot of passion. Watch with
See,
passion.
I said tactically, this game will go beyond that, and it will turn down to the personnel available and also the mental fortitude of the players.
Right.
We are talking about Oliver Glasner, that he has that in-game management more than Ruben Amorim.
Oh, yes.
We are talking about a team that has played for a long time, win some laurels in terms of compactness.
4 wins
They are
and a
there.
draw in the
And if
last
you
5.
talk about, Crystal Palace, you are talking about a team that without Olise, they still found a way to win.
Yeah.
Without their guy, Eberechi Eze, still Mateta grinds some results
and a draw
out.
in their
The
last
Sa
5.
in
Crazy.
there, one of the best midfielders in the English Premier League. Anderson, Adam Wharton, and then Daichi Kamada. These are guys who combines a lot for
Anderson's
them.
at Forest, though.
Forest, Adam Wharton rather.
Wharton.
You look up Sa. This team works so well, like a well-oiled machine, because the manager there understands the job. The perfect three-back in Europe. They are the team I'll mention.
Yeah.
Before we will go back to the replica three-back of Ruben Amorim. Oh, yes, that's the replica. The original one is with Crystal Palace.
Okay.
For Ruben Amorim, the issue is that for some 5 games, he, hooked United fans with some hopes. The team proved that at least there's that energy. Matthias Cunha, and I'll always say this, if United needed players to prove to the world that although we talk a lot about the environment being toxic because of the kind of talent that come and go, but this guy is in there trying to prove a point, trying to make sure that whether good or bad, it will work. That's Brian Mbeumo. Because if you look at the tenacity, the pressing, how difficult it is to even beat him as a forward, and how he tracks back to defend. We didn't see it with the other guys who we talk about environment affected them.
Yeah.
So Brian Mbeumo is proving the point that although the situation might not look good, but me, I'm a good player.
He was proven before he moved to
And he wants to continue that thing.
Yeah.
So to me, one key player for Ruben Amorim will be him. And also with Amad Diallo, we are talking about a player that I know United pundit who talks that he has the qualities to even get closer to Lamine Yamal. But unfortunately for him, the tactician behind the touchline puts him right on the wings to play as a fullback. So it looks like to me, Amad is somehow limited in what he can do as a player with his left leg.
I want to.
Almost a three. The guy, listen to what I said. The guy has the capacity and the flair and
reach the
dribbler,
Yamal
a game
level.
decider closer to Yamal. People even do the comparison. But the tactician they have now puts him right on the flanks to track back like a left-footed player.
I understand.
Yes.
But do you know that?
So you are limiting what the player can offer the club.
But do you know that against Everton, it was in the double tens that he played that he didn't flourish.
So still the manager is doing test and trials.
it was clear
right the
after
season ended, they travel to Asia for prison to one try.
Look,
league is going on. You're now.
United no why dance. Don't do that, bro.
You are United.
Don't do that.
I love United because of my boss.
Okay.
I have a soft spot.
You look at Ahmad after the signing of Mbeumo. It was very clear that his role as the right winger in this system was going to be decreased. At the beginning of the season, you could see him playing as the right wing back, and that's what you're talking about. That's the problem. But there were games like the Nottingham Forest game. There were games where he would score, he would get clean. But yeah, he has to take more responsibility too, no doubt about that. But what he's saying about how the coach is deploying, because last season in the league, Ahmad was one of their top scorers in the league.
Flamboyant on the wings.
And he had an injury towards the end of the season.
I think it's one of the reasons why Garnacho actually left the club, because he doesn't use touchline wingers.
Yeah. So I think that Amorim needs to think about it again.
Tactically.
And how he can use
But he
get the
flourished
best out of
playing with
See, Mbeumo on the right. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. That
And it's going to be a problem come January when both
go for the AFCON.
They go for the
Look at this Manchester United.
They need a run of games where they will pick up maximum points because in January it's going to be a problem on the right.
When there's a true pass,
it's so much, because then we talk about Maresca's unpredictability, and then but United, they are still unpredictable. But let's move on. West Ham. Liverpool.
Nuno Espirito Santo.
You know something.
Nuno Espirito Santo.
You know something.
Nuno Espirito Santo. PSV Duam.
You know the worst thing. You know the worst thing about this game.
Let's go to the Liverpool.
The worst thing about this game is the moment the cycle that Liverpool is in now. It is coinciding with West Ham's best run of form at home.
That is the thing.
They've won the back-to-back games at home at the London Stadium, and Liverpool are going to the London Stadium.
If Liverpool loses this game by a slight margin, like 2-1,
if Liverpool lose,
PSV give up 4.
Would you sack Arne Slot? Would you say it's over for Arne Slot?
Let me answer it this way: if Liverpool lose this game, I think Arne Slot is gone.
A goner.
Hey, Liverpool fans.
So what about
Liverpool lose this game? I think Arne Slot is gone. Personally, I am not quite Arne Slot out yet. I'm not quite there yet.
But Liverpool,
we know Liverpool fans. We know you love
against West Ham. The season that West Ham has had this season, even coming on the back from last season up until this season, the run that they were on, and now suddenly they are trying to do the basics right. You know, we know Nuno Espirito Santo defensively, being compact,
well-drilled manager,
limiting opposition chances, all that. So going into this game, I'm not quite sure what to expect, because I've seen Liverpool, the kind of run that we are on.
Charlie, Liverpool is a very bad
place. We are in a very difficult place. We are in a very difficult place.
Nuno Espirito Santo.
They give you a minute.
Okay, I understand. Nuno Espirito Santo. The problem West Ham were facing was the manager available, Porter. But for Espirito Santo, he drops Lucas Paqueta a bit deep to help the DM. So they create from deep. And we saw that fine shot from deep against Burnley.
But they are not quite out of the waters yet. They still consider each other.
What I'm saying is
just
that
like Liverpool.
in the waters was under Porter. But under Nuno Espirito Santo, so far, they've proved that we have a new manager who is trying to turn the table with some wins more than their defeats. Compared to the Liverpool fumbling side. So to me, I'm expecting a tactical masterclass and the two coaches on the touchline.
So you're expecting a West Ham win?
Not just a West Ham win. A total demolition by West Ham, because this is the reason. The personnel available for Liverpool were not able to play against PSV Eindhoven. Listen to this, in the UCL night.
PSV Eindhoven are a good side.
Are a good side. Look at their players available and the manager. We are talking about another manager, Nuno Espirito Santo.
Hey, when you say and their manager, I don't want to cut you, but the PSV manager is a top guy.
That's why I'm saying that the Nuno Espirito Santo in the EPL is not afraid of beating big clubs. Hope you know that too.
That's true.
We've seen it. And the funny twist here is that his former club, Nottingham Forest, just beat them in the Forest by 3-0.
And he himself picked up maximum points against. And that was the first loss of the season for Liverpool. Back at Anfield season.
And now he's now coaching another West Ham side. So the key thing about West Ham is that I want to see where James Ward-Prowse will be introduced
and also
it's true.
They play the same way that Liverpool are vulnerable against. They are the long balls and long throws
for
Liverpool, making it difficult
for the Liverpool team.
Yes, exactly.
They have to sort their back line issues. If Van Dijk is there, and you'll be celebrating best rank in FIFA. And today he'll be catching football like he's a basketball Giannis Antetokounmpo. You have to ask questions about your club.
I couldn't believe what I couldn't believe what I was seeing from Van Dijk.
Van Dijk is now
I just slap you.
PY just the one. I mean, I feel say you get I go Snop can't take the microphone from you, can't do.
But I think this will be a
bro, isn't that concerning? Footballer, you are paid to be a footballer to play with your legs as an outfield player.
I think
and then you go mid air and you catch the ball like a goalkeeper.
Let's.
I think that Slot knows that.
Wasa.
He knows that Wasan. That one day he knows in his head, but he's speaking well in the press and with self-reflection and then so that.
Anyways.
But he knows that this game, after losing to Nottingham at home 3-0, after losing to PSV 4 goals at home,
This is
he knows that he
in the last 3 games we've considered 10 goals.
Yes.
This is the worst
10 goals
run
in the last 3 games
for
Since
70 years.
Anyway,
So let me land.
It's
I think that he knows that the pressure on him, if he loses this game against
West Ham,
would go through the roof.
The DJ has
He
preferred the
can't
music.
afford to lose. You see, the problem with Liverpool right now is that 9 defeats in their last 12
games.
You see, if you are even losing and you are drawing some, when you are losing,
we haven't
if
picked
you
up
go-
even a draw this
Diego
season.
Simeone at the beginning of the season, when he went 6 games, at a point 6 games, he only had 1 win. He drew 3. He drew 2 and he lost 3. You see, it's up and down here and there, but you want to give the manager the benefit.
They are still getting points on the board.
At least you can. But he just doesn't have a clue.
Yeah.
And if you're a team and you string 2-3 correct passes together, you break this Liverpool midfield so easily. Yesterday when Isaac came on for Ekitike, you see, he spent 150 million for Isaac, and then the 150 million signing is on the bench.
Isaac.
When he comes on, he can't even. When he takes a player on, Isaac is on the wing. You see one of Isaac's best goals where he dribbles so many people on the wing.
Yes.
He takes a player on. He can't even run or pass it on the 9 more. You do. I'm like, what's really happening at the club? So it's up to Slot to get it right on the day. It's up to Salah to take more responsibility.
Don't you think Salah is done 7?
that conversation.
4 months ago, we didn't say this.
I mean,
So
I will wait till the end of the season.
yeah.
4 months ago, only 4 months ago, he was winning.
This is what I talk about.
Only last season we didn't
Instantaneous
say Liverpool.
gratification.
Yeah. So I'm going to wait till the end of the
and then you
season.
bounce back again.
But
True.
that
So
that
the
is
same
also
way you're
true.
talking, someone who say, "Don't you think Lamine Yamal will never be bright again?"
I won't dispute that fact.
You
But you are trying to
Anyway.
No,
Anyway.
you shouldn't say that because
Why?
you see how football is. There was a point in this season, like I was saying at the beginning, that Liverpool were top of the league. This season, no.
Yeah, this season.
There was a point where Liverpool were 5 points clear going to the international break.
Yeah.
Right now, look at where they are. So just wait to the end of the season to properly assess. But yeah,
Assess the team at the end of the season.
No, that is why I'm trying to say that to
Salah,
know if Salah is finished.
Okay.
That is what you're saying. And I'm saying that, or the Lamine Yamal conversation, give them towards the end of the season to show.
I mean, in
but
December,
Slot needs to
January,
show up
they
in
will
this
come
game.
to us.
But if
If he doesn't show up,
Liverpool get defeated, the music will be Annie Slot. La la la. We go sack him. No, we will sack him.
Anyway, Madrid will have to play a must-win game. That is what I think against
Yeah.
Girona in the La Liga.
Against
And then
Girona,
we'll wrap
right?
up with this.
So
yeah.
just as I said, Real Madrid will bang in the goals, and there's this, probable thing. There will be a penalty in the game. So yes, penalty. Yes, this is the perfect thing I can give out because we are talking about a team that knows how to swing their passes. We were talking about either Mastantuono will be playing as a winger. He's one guy who flourishes so well as a midfielder. But if you are Mastantuono, when he was leading that River Plate team, he normally plays as an AM. But for Real Madrid, the midfield is quite choked that the youngster will have to be forced to play that side.
Wide, yeah.
Rodrigo looks like he's lifeless. There's nothing there as a Madridista anymore. Vinicius Jr. upon all the critics and other stuff, he saw what they did in the midweek. Mbappe will bang in the goals. The penalty spot will call for penalty, Alpha Ball, Real Madrid.
Girona unbeaten in 4 games, but there's draws in there. They've actually drawn against Oviedo. Oviedo is at its last in the league.
Don't let Girona deceive you. The Girona of the year where they booked the Champions League, so under Michel.
Yeah, exactly. I'm coming
they're
there.
not
No,
good.
I'm coming there.
So
They're not good. They're not
Girona's
good. They're not
mistake,
good. They're not good.
when they qualified for the UEFA Champions League, they are, hope you know their co-owners are the co-owners of Manchester City.
City, yes.
They promised the team that if you keep this performance, we will pump money into this team, then you compete with Atletico de Madrid, Real Madrid, and Barcelona. I don't know what happened. Right after they were able to make the top 4 transfer window, they sold Savino, they sold Dubik to AS.
This is their worst start.
But they qualified for the Champions League. So why do you just dismantle the team for me? Now Danny Blind is their centre back.
It makes it very difficult.
Danny Blind of 2000 and something.
Axel Witsel is playing.
But
if they have Brian Gill, these are all Premier League flops. Brian Gill, if you couldn't cut it in the Premier League.
You have some talent in there though. Yes. Australia.
And they also have 2022 World Cup. Remember the Moroccan midfielder Onahi.
If you watch Girona proper against Barca, in that first half they created about 5 clear-cut chances.
And
then they didn't convert.
If Kylian Mbappe wants to win the European Golden Shoe, these are some of the games.
Yeah, it's very difficult for you to assess how good Michel is right now. Because he looked like he was building something, and then management didn't back him with what he
doesn't have the material.
So right now, it looks like Madrid will beat.
So this is definitely a must-win game for Madrid. But the big one on the weekend is Chelsea Arsenal, but that is in a special edition with Kiddy. So catch that one there.
The AI predictor.
He predicted
yesterday, dear Charlie.
3-1
for the TL to everybody say nah.
He predicts score line. He's gonna predict probable lineup. He predict the coaches will go do the touch line.
That one.
Yes, Liverpool for Uncle
Kiddy for Liverpool.
Lineups.
Because he get insights. And I'll repeat it. And Slot, the difference is about the arrangement. If you check Slot and Lost, it's all about alphabetical.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Leonard Abekando. I did this with Spurs, Latan, Prosper, and then Stan. Charlie, guys, thanks for coming. And then Marcel.
Yeah, solid one, bro.
Yeah, Prrrr is big. Prrrr is back.
Prrrr is live.
It's what?
Live.
All right, we are out.